This morning's guest's day job is ministering to adults. In 2 days, he'll have a night job. Who is he, and what'll it be? You'll meet him coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're in the lobby of the Embassy Suites Resort at Kingston Plantation. We're focused on the 13th annual American Heart Ball to be held here this Saturday night. And we're visiting with the co-chair of the event, Todd Harms. Good morning, Todd.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
This is so exciting. We are so close. It's
Absolutely.
50 hours, 60 hours away?
2 days.
It's incredible. Yeah, it's amazing. So much has happened over the last number of months to get ready for this, Todd. And even since you were with us 6-7 weeks ago when we were over at Myrtle Beach Lighting trying to get ready for the event, I think then you were with us on a Friday, and as we were getting close, planning out all the sponsors and auction items and decorations. Rita Siegel-Levine will be with us tomorrow to talk about decorations. So much has to happen to get ready for Saturday night.
It does. This is definitely a critical time for the event, and where everything kind of starts to come together, and so we'll see.
What are some of the things that have to happen now, Todd? You know, we've gotten this far. What are some of the things that are going to be happening today, the rest of the day, Thursday, all day tomorrow, Friday, and then leading up to 6 p.m. on Saturday night?
Well, you know, right now what is most important is all of our generous volunteers, are really kicking it into high gear, and auction items, number one, have to be transported starting tomorrow morning from the office to Kingston Plantation, where we're on site, and we'll start to have to arrange those, and so that in itself is a big job.
Oh yeah.
Rita and Dandelion has been just so generous year after year, and so this year's no exception. And on Saturday, early Saturday, those kinds of things will start coming together. The actual ballroom, will start to take shape.
Sure.
And each of the table settings, all of those things, and the staff here at Kingston, we've been guests of Kingston several times over through the years. And one thing that always stands out about Kingston is they're so reliable, so easy to get along with. And so in that, I'm very excited to be here and working with them, because they can pretty much make anything happen, and so that'll be nice.
They have done exactly events like this over and over. Joe Delaney, who had said, I think he's been here 18 years. Sabina Robinson, 13 years. Tremendous longevity. Terry Harrelson, we met, had been here 12 years. Who helped lay out the dining room. Of course, even Carmine, who was with us earlier this week, only a year, but involved in big events, helped put on events like this. It's tremendous when you see, as Joe said, we went to the Sheraton, or now Sheraton Radisson 4 years ago. We were at the Marriott for 3 years, and he said, welcome home. And it's a great thing. It's been a good time away, and we love those venues. We're thankful the Marriott, I think, has come in as a corporate table of this year's event, spending $2,750. So obviously they recognize the mission is right.
That's right.
The mission is right.
It's amazing to me just to see Rita and her continued involvement this year, especially in the wake of her husband's the stroke and
in December.
I'm just amazed that she's there and she's committed, just like every other year.
Right. It is amazing. We'll be with her tomorrow morning, the eve of the event, and of course for her, as you say, having had a heart attack herself in 2000, that didn't slow her down in 2000. She was still on site, making sure the event was successful that year, and now her husband's stroke on D-Day on December 7th. She's
pretty amazing.
She is an amazing gal. And, of course, earlier this week, Ann Lehman was with us on Monday, another incredible volunteer who will be helping out a lot on decorations tomorrow and on Saturday. And, of course, Hilda was with us yesterday, Hilda Carter.
Sure.
Year after year, another volunteer who's been impacted by heart disease and stroke.
Certainly.
It's amazing. How many folks, Todd? Now, of course, you've got some heart disease in your family, don't you?
My dad has been impacted just through the years. He's suffered from heart disease and had a number of procedures, and I just, each time we're there with him, and I'm just amazed at the technology, and every time it seems that things are easier. His recovery time is quicker. The entire process just seems less critical because of the research and development that has occurred through the money raised, for American Heart Association.
And of course, he recently went back in for a little follow-up. Is that correct?
He did. I mean, just in the last year or so, and he's doing great. My dad's the perfect patient. He whatever the doctor tells him to do, he's very diligent in that and mindful of all the restrictions, and so his diet and exercise and all those things, he's very, very conscious of that. And so he's a cardiologist's dream.
I love it. I love it. Your dad's one of the perfect patients, and of course, not only your dad, but also your family here locally. Y'all, albeit not impacted by heart disease and stroke directly, but y'all are making this a real family affair.
We have, since marrying my wife a couple of years ago, my children are my parents. They're just the apple of their eye these days. And so my dad, has a real strong relationship with both my son Adam and my daughter Samantha. And so they are very excited to be a part of things this year and donating their time and energy. And of course my wife has also been a strong supporter these last few years.
Last February, Sherry was in there pounding out, volunteering in the office for a whole month of February, Heart Month, leading up to the March 6th event or March whatever event last year. And, of course, this year can't be in the office all the time, but is surely pounding it out behind the scenes, helping support you and the entire organization. It is such a big deal to raise $400,000, almost $500,000, Todd, in one night.
It is.
In one night, but it doesn't all just happen in one night.
No, and last year we had a goal of $350, I believe, and so this year we upped that by $50,000. And it is intimidating in some ways, but we have an incredible community, and things always come together. We met our goal last year,
right?
And we're close this year. We've still got some money to raise, but everyone has been very generous, and so we're hoping that $400 is well inside it.
Sure, absolutely. And, of course, there's a lot more things that could even happen in the next 48 hours, whether folks come in to buy tickets at the last minute. As you know, here in Myrtle Beach, a lot of folks don't make decisions until the last minute. It is President's Day weekend, so a lot of folks are out of town.
That's right.
Because of Monday being a school holiday. A lot of folks, even our other co-chair, Andy Gresco, he and his family are going to be skiing.
That's right.
Waccamaw Cardiology will still have their table staff, but that's a big, I think we talked about Emma Ruth Britton and her husband who are going to be out of town this weekend because of her son's trip there at Furman or otherwise. And, of course, they are still supporting with sponsorships and buying tickets and donating auction items and making the event as successful as possible.
That's right. And as you said, through ticket sales, we've had donors come by the day of the event with an auction item. We want this in the auction, and obviously we'll do whatever we can to include that. So it's a great opportunity to raise even more money. So
other than wanting to fight heart disease and stroke and help the Heart Association raise more money, why would someone want to donate an auction item, Todd? If someone wanted to do just that today at 7 a.m. on Thursday, if they wanted to come by the office today or tomorrow, we may not be able to get them in the program book, but we'll get it up there. We'll get it displayed.
That's right.
What's the importance of that?
Well, as you said, in addition to being just the right thing to do and, just being civic-minded, there are, this advantages, and certainly they would want to speak with their tax advisor about that.
Sure.
But also the exposure. This year, this event has grown into, we'll have upwards of 1,000 guests potentially.
Right.
And so the exposure that affords these donors is incredible. It might be that someone has used a different provider of a service or has bought a particular item from a different store or merchant.
Sure.
And so in seeing that this individual supports the Heart Ball, that can certainly impact.
Yes, sure, absolutely. They may think about changing their spending habits.
I'll tell you that it impacts my decisions as a consumer all year long, because I just think it's important, and I absolutely buy things from certain people or certain businesses because of their support. It's that important to me, individually.
Oftentimes, folks are pushing the locally owned and operated aspect of buy locally, spend locally. And of course, if it's not that instance, oftentimes in our instance, we've got groups like Costco or Sam's Club, which are clearly not locally owned and operated, but donate lots of items to the Heart Ball. People who attend the Heart Ball and love the fight against heart disease and stroke are going to be more apt to support one or the other of those groups that oftentimes will have lots of items that they may be interested in.
That's right, and recognizing, when those big businesses acknowledge that although they're not a local business, they are a part of the local community.
Yes.
And it's critical because, we make those decisions. We are contributing to the success of that business locally, and is that a viable business,
right,
and that sort of thing. And so, I think they have that responsibility to contribute as well. And most of those businesses do step up to the plate and contribute. And Costco and Sam's are two perfect examples of that.
They are. We've got Walmart, the district manager for Walmart, new district manager Scott will be attending with the general manager of the Briarcliff location. Hilda's son will be out here this Saturday night. Those are folks that are stepping up to the plate, giving us $1,000+ to make it successful, and clearly that reinvesting in the community to make a difference, whether it's big companies like that, worldwide, large retailers, or relatively small startup companies like our presenting sponsor, a Triangle-based software technology company, stepping up with $22,500, a Chapel Hill-based company, to make an impact in the fight against heart disease and stroke locally in the Myrtle Beach area, because they know those research dollars are going to be spread wherever they go. They're going to make an impact.
That's right, and it is a team effort. When you look at a goal like $400,000, well, no business is individually equipped to make that happen.
Right.
And so the Myrtle Beach community as a whole can certainly do that, and companies like Understanding Corporation. That's incredible contribution. 22.5. I don't know. I just, and even in local businesses, Carolina First comes to mind because they were one of the first to.
Oh yeah, to step
commit.
Up big.
That's
5,500.
Right.
That's right. Sure. And a lot of those great sponsors. I can't even remember all the folks that are up there. Georgetown Memorial Hospital, help me out. The Conway Medical Center, Grand Strand Regional Medical Center, Century 21 Bowling, of course, Dunes Investments, which stepped up for the first time ever with the 5,500, and of course Carolina First right up there. There's probably someone else. I hate to even mention them all. Redline Power Sports and the Myrtle Beach Herald, obviously in around the $7,500 range.
Yes. It's hard because, and the exciting thing about this year is that Renee Minkin is serving as our sponsorship chair.
Yeah.
And there are lots who, haven't contributed in the past that she's really gotten involved in. She hit the ground running.
Yes, she did.
Since we mentioned, and asked her to serve in that way. And, McDonald's Amusements comes to mind because they're a first-time donor. And so they'll be attending the event and sponsored at the $37.50 level. So it's good stuff.
It is tremendous to see folks step out and they wonder, why am I giving $3,750 for 12 seats that I could buy for $175 each, essentially spending a little more than $2,000? Why am I spending an additional $1,600? And of course, again, where are those dollars going?
Well, and it's the right thing to do. It offers you that exposure, and the money is going directly towards that research development that's absolutely making a difference. And with the numbers, with the statistics here in South Carolina and even nationally, there can't be enough done towards just figuring out how just cures and alternate methods of treatment and these kinds of things. How can we do a better job of taking care? And everyone knows someone that has been impacted. Whether it's someone in your immediate family, someone in your neighborhood, someone in your church, these kinds of things.
A loved one.